In this video, we are going to learn how to calculate the contour interval. And as a warning, this video may be more educational than it is entertaining. On the map that you see here, you may notice that we don't actually have a contour interval. It's something that we need to calculate to be able to properly interpret our topographic maps. What we do know is there are a couple pieces of information that we can use to help calculate our contour interval. So this is what we're going to focus on in this activity. Now, forewarning, in order to be able to show this activity properly, I'm going to be balancing between the topographic map, the steps on how to do it, and then some of the little calculations at the bottom. So first off, the first step that we need to take a look at here is you need to find the value of two known contour lines. So in this map here, we can see that we know the 400-foot line and we know the 500-foot line. As a rule of thumb, unless you were told otherwise, assume all elevations are in feet. That's the assumption that we're going to make for this map. Once we have figured out two known elevation lines, we need to figure out what is the difference in elevation between those two areas. That is simply done by taking the lower value and subtracting it from the higher value. So if we take a look at how that is done, for here, we know that the lower line was 400 feet. We know that the upper line that we marked was 500 feet. So we simply subtract the lower value from the upper value, and we get 100 feet. That is the amount of change between our two known lines. Now, that is not the contour line interval. Okay? That is the amount that has changed. If we go back to our map, that is the amount that has changed across all these lines, 100 feet. What we're looking for is how much does each line change by. In order to do that one, we have to look at step 3. Count the number of lines from the lower value to the higher value. So in that case here, we start here, 400, and we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in 5 contour lines, we've moved 100 feet. In order to calculate our contour interval, we need to simply divide the value that we calculated in step 2 by the number of lines in step 3. With that being said, how does that look? Here, we figured out that we had 100 feet from our calculations in step 2. We then counted our lines. We have 5 lines from step 3. So in order to calculate our contour interval, which is step 4, we take 100 divided by 5. Each line should represent 20 feet. Now, in order to check this, you can simply go back to the map, as we are here, start at 400. We said it was a 20-foot interval, so each line should change by 20 feet. So we should go from 400 to 420 to 440 to 460 to 480 to 500. Likewise, we know that this next line up, continuing trend, would be 520 feet. And that is how you calculate a contour interval.